Hi, welcome along to our video for today. And we're looking at where God came down, the archaeological evidence. It's a great book by Joel Kramer. Joel Kramer is a Christian. He's also an archaeologist. And I'll give you some information on Joel in just a second there. But this book is just crammed full of archaeological finds which support the biblical text. It's just amazing to see the extent of the evidence. Joel knows exactly what he's talking about. His studies go into great detail as well. And you can actually check him out on YouTube. If you type in Bible Expedition, you'll see Joel Kramer's videos there, archaeological videos, where he actually goes to these places and shows you this archaeological evidence to support the biblical text. But just looking at this here, this is the city of Hebron, and in the distance is Tel Hebron, further along. And here's the site, the archaeological site, that matter exposed. You can see it there on the ground there, and he brings it down into age layers, and you can just see a bit of a chart here. There's a Byzantine period building there, Islamic walls, a Roman wall there, a hole in the bedrock there, another hole in the bedrock there. So these are drawings of the Iron Age structures and matters excavation report. The connecting red line points to where two structures were found outside Mamre's wall. So Mamre in the Bible, where Abraham built an altar, and it also mentions the trees in the Bible as well, the trees of Mamre. So where were these trees? There should be some evidence. Well, there's some massive holes there in the bedrock, which you can see here, where trees would have been, and they've done some excavations and some examinations on those particular holes where trees would have protruded from, these massive big trees of Mamre. So you can see here the tree rings at Mamre are still identifiable where they penetrated the rock. A bit more up close there. A spring was Mamre's main water source in the time of Abraham. That spring is still there. A close-up of the centre of Mamre, the visible corner where the stones are exposed, where they have strong evidence that could be the altar that Abraham built. So during the time of Abraham, 2000 BC, this evidence is coming up. It's quite extensive here as we go through Mamre's layers from this actual site. So that's an aerial view of Mamre as it looks today, showing the location of each colour-coded layer. The time of Abraham, that layer there, the time of Herod, the Islamic period there, the kingdom of Israel. But there's lots to read. I mean, I've just skipped over it just on the very, very surface, not even that, but there's a lot of information that you can dig into regarding that archaeological site and how it supports the biblical text. So there's lots of notes in here. This is about Jerusalem, the holy place called Mount Moriah, very similar to Mamre, with one thing built on top of another like Mamre. Mount Moriah is also enclosed by walls built by Herod the Great. And you can see how he goes into great detail here with maps, with a very detailed explanation with maps history on archaeological digs. So, picture there, Solomon built the temple on Mount Moriah with an altar of sacrifice in front of its entrance there. And then we have Zerubbabel's temple, and then Herod the Great's temple, all in that one spot there. The top of Mount Moriah is adorned with statues of Herodian and Jupiter there. Hadrian's shrine. The Byzantine period, the Islamic shrine. All these different layers. So there's Abraham's layer from the very beginning there. All in the one spot. David's layer. Solomon's temple, the first temple. Zerubbabel's temple. Herod's temple. Hadrian's shrine. The barren Temple Mount. And then now the Golden Dome, which we have today, the Islamic shrine. So we go right through the history of these different periods. The Roman destruction in 70 AD. These massive stones you can see here. These piles of massive stones, which Josephus describes as smashed to the ground. Josephus was an historian at the time of Jesus. They provide dramatic evidence of the fulfillment of Jesus' prediction or prophecy that the magnificent buildings on the Temple Mount would be destroyed. Jesus said the stones would be thrown down in Matthew 24, verse 2. Also in Mark 13, verse 2, and they were. Roman soldiers rolled them to the edge of the temple platform and pushed them off into the streets below. They're still there. But Zerubbabel's temple going into Babylonian destruction, Solomon's temple, David's altar as well. Just so detailed, the history. It goes into interpretation as well. Jacob's altar. There's just so much in here. I'm yet to actually read this. I've read a little bit of it, but I'm looking forward to getting right into this. Excavations regarding David's palace. David's palace was not a temple, it was a palace. Don't get that confused. The first temple was built in Solomon's time. The tomb of David goes into that as well. So into the New Testament and the holy places. Archaeological evidence for the New Testament. It's a panoramic view of the Church of Annunciation, the modern Church of Annunciation, identifying the locations of preserved archaeological features. Old Testament Bethlehem, New Testament Bethlehem, the sacred cave. Just so much archaeological information in here supporting the biblical text. Just a lot here. Even going into the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. Which they say is, that church is over Golgotha and the tomb of Jesus. So there's a lot of information in here regarding that as well. But look, it's just magnificent. It goes on, and you can see all the notes. A great bibliography at the back there. The topic index. There's a bibliography. And a lot of the sources there are quoting biblical scholars and archaeologists as well. So great book. Just some information on Joel Kramer. While residing in Jerusalem for nearly 10 years, Joel Kramer earned an MA in archaeology from the University of the Holy Land. So he's not a kook, he's an actual archaeologist. He knows what he's talking about. And studying under world-renowned archaeologist Dr. Shimon Gibson, Joel gained valuable field experience excavating in Jerusalem, Bethlehem and Ai. So currently, Joel is an adjunct professor for Shepherd's Theological Seminary in Cary, while living in Amman, Jordan, with his wife and 3 children. In addition to speaking, teaching and leading biblical studies and study tours, Joel continues to research, write and participate in various archaeological projects. And he just quickly, he writes on the back of this book here, what is the evidence that supports these sites as the actual biblical places? Is a question that Kramer seeks to answer by analysing 5 Old Testament sites and 5 New Testament sites within this book. Does it matter to know if these sites are authentic? Is another critical question raised. Kramer responds with a resounding yes. He says it matters because the Bible is not a made-up account of antiquity, as many today claim. Instead, the Bible is a record of real events and actual places that can be traced through the course of centuries. Peeling back layers of dirt and time, Kramer expertly lays out the archaeological evidence for his chosen biblical sites, but more than that, he carefully reveals the profound spiritual significance that ordinary, unimportant places became the setting where redemption's story played out on earth, the places where God came down. So highly recommend it. You can search for this book online. If you actually go to his videos, Bible Expedition, he'll, I think there's a link there on his YouTube videos where you can actually go to the link, and it's an easy process to pick this book up. So I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll be back with a Bible review next on, I think it's an end of verse reference Bible that I'll be looking at. Anyway, have a great day. Please subscribe, and I'll be back soon with another one. Bye for now.